All right, today on the channel, we're gonna be taking a look at the Minisforum UM880 Plus Elite Mini PC. Now, if you've been following the channel for any certain amount of time, you probably know that I love me a miniature PC. I love retro gaming, emulation, that sort of thing, and these things absolutely do a great job of playing a lot of the old school retro consoles and emulating those games flawlessly. What is impressive nowadays, though, is the power that we get for performance and per dollar on these miniature PCs. These are starting to kind of creep up there and compete with the full-size gaming PCs that you'll see in most big box stores for a fraction of the price. Currently, this one is hovering around on Amazon for about $500 or so, so we're kind of getting up into that higher price point, but for the amount of bang for your buck that you get on this thing, we got a Ryzen 7 CPU, we got 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, 1 terabyte of storage. I mean, this thing, offers quite a bit for your money. So let's go ahead and see what we get inside the box. So first and foremost is the PC itself. Lives up to the name. It is a miniature PC. It's shorter than my iPhone, for crying out loud. But ports and connections, we got our power button up front. We got two USB 3.0 connections, our 3.5 millimeter audio jack. We have ventilation on both sides, as well as the bottom has a very quiet fan. It's even advertised as silent. We've got our 2.5 gigabyte LAN connection there. We've got an HDMI connection. We have this little protective covering for an Oculink connection that we'll get to shortly. A USB 4 connection, a DisplayPort 1.4, and two USB 2.0 connections. And then of course we have our little barrel connection for our power. Speaking of power, comes with a small brick barrel connection, and of course the AC adapter. I love that the power brick is small. A lot of times I've actually reviewed miniature PCs where the power brick was twice the size of the miniature PC. Luckily, not the case in this instance. Comes with a small 3-foot HDMI cable, and we have a VESA backing plate, has some screws there, so if you want to mount it to the back of your monitor, you can. We have a couple of replacement rubber feet. So on the bottom side here, we got these nice little non-slip grip rubber feet. But one complaint I do have about that does go with these rubber feet, and that is this is the Oculink connection. So this is going to be installed on the PC, and that little connection where we had right here that was covered up, that's where this is going to go. You have to install this yourself, which I think is pretty hokey in this modern day and age. You're gonna, give me a performance mini PC, but you're gonna make me install one of the connections. And furthermore, to get into this bad boy, you essentially have to rip off the existing rubber feet, like so. Still have a little bit sticky adhesive there, so you can, pop it back on there. Plus you have the replacements, but I just think that's poorly designed. So it exposes the 4 screws there on each corner, and then you can remove the bottom plate and get access to it. Once we have our screws removed, now we have access to the internals. And as you can see, they actually use some pretty decent stuff in here. So we got a Kingston 1 terabyte drive, so name brand, which is great. As far as our RAM, we got Crucial branded, 16 gigabytes each, 2 cards, 32 gigabytes DDR5, so good quality stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, retro gaming is kind of really where my heart is at, and that's the games I'm going to test and play on this device, and I think really what these are best suited for. If you want to play the most modern released game on a PC that's 4K resolution, 120 frames per second, this is not going to be for you. You can technically play those. You will have to make use of the Oculink port and have an external GPU connected to this to really kind of get that kind of performance. But out of the box, this thing will basically emulate and play any of your favorite retro games, retro consoles, all the way up to Xbox, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, you name it, this can do it. I'm gonna hook up some games, connect them. This doesn't come pre-installed with any games. It does come pre-installed with Windows 11 Pro, which is nice, but you will have to supply your own game files. I'm gonna set all my emulators to 1080p, 60 frames per second. I'm not gonna mess with any, graphical settings, and we can truly see and hear what kind of performance we can expect out of this Minisforum UM880 Plus.
Way more than I expected. Ambush to rear. Where are they coming from?
Can you assist? Over! Keep it together. We're on the way. 2-1 out. On me, let's go. one. We're in the school.
You up! Venom Web! Stay back! We'll step you up! Venom Web! Venom! Venom Fang! Venom Fang!
Fantastic replay we just saw of the Mobile One drive.
And the way he's been able to protect the ball from the defense is really incredible. He makes it look so easy.
It's good.
His energy is unmatched.
And all of a sudden, that man was just on the other end. Wow.
Horford for three. Knocked away. Pass to Pippen.
Your safe is securely.
At the end of the day, this is the most powerful mini PC I've played to date. However, again, if you're looking for modern PC games, this really isn't going to be for you. The big hokey thing, again, I think the Oculink, you don't have to install it to, use this computer. So if you're doing retro gaming like I am, you can ignore it completely. But if you thought about and you're wanting to add an external GPU for that higher end performance, then you will have to install it yourself. And I think that's just the silliest thing ever in this modern day and age. But regardless, this is a fantastic miniature PC for retro gaming. The power to performance ratio is very good on this one, and if you're interested in picking one up, I'll put a product link down in the video description box below. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends if you found the information helpful, and as always, thanks for watching, guys. It really means a lot.